G'day guys, it's Dave Tran here from Guitar Zero to Hero, and welcome to this fingerstyle guitar tutorial. Now if you want to see the full lesson as well as playthroughs for this song and tabs, then be sure to check out Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, where you'll find dozens more of these step-by-step fingerstyle arrangements, as well as a complete guitar course where you'll learn everything from scales to theory to technique, everything to take you from Guitar Zero to Guitar Hero. And the link is in the description below. So without any further ado, let's get to the song lesson. For the basics, you'll just need a guitar and standard tuning, and you won't need a capo at all. Now, as always, for our fingerpicking basics, our thumb will take care of the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and your index, middle, and ring finger will take care of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings respectively, and you won't pluck any other strings other than the ones they're assigned to. This song actually has a swing feel to it. Now, if you've watched the rhythm lessons, then you'll know the swing feel is a little different to just a straight normal beat. A normal straight beat will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and all the beats are equally spaced apart. But with the swing feel, the on beat is actually held out a bit longer and the end beat is shorter. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so you'll notice that the end beat is a lot quicker and just before the next on beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and as opposed to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so it's important to get into that rhythm and get that into your head whilst you're playing this song. So let's start with the intro of this song, which has a nice cool lick. So we're going to start up here at the 14th and 15th fret of our 1st and 2nd strings. You'll bar the 14th fret with your index finger, and your middle finger will play the 15th fret of the 2nd string. You'll bar this because we'll need that 14th fret in a second. So we're going to pluck the 1st and 2nd strings, and then pluck it another 2 times. So it'll sound like this: 1 and 2. And then you'll lift your middle finger and do the exact same thing: 3 and 4. And then you'll place your middle finger back on the 15th fret of the 2nd string, pluck those 2 strings, and then your pinky finger will go up to the 17th fret of the 1st string, pluck that, and then go back to the 15th fret of the 2nd string. So, and then our pinky finger will go up to the 17th fret of the 2nd string, pluck that once, pluck it again, and slide up to the 18th fret of the 2nd string, which will sound like this. And that pinky will go back down to the 17th fret of the 2nd string, pluck that, and then go to the 15th fret of the 2nd string, and then 16th fret of the 3rd string, and then 14th fret of the 3rd string. So that whole run in total. And then we'll move down our fretboard, and our ring finger will go on the 5th fret of our 6th string. We're going to pluck that and then go to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, quickly one after the other. And then we'll go to the 2nd fret and then lift our index finger and hit the open 6th, which sounds like this. Altogether, the intro will sound like this. Now, if you can't play the intro because it's too high up in the fretboard and you can't reach, then you can play that just 12 frets down. Everything stays exactly the same though. Everything is just 12 frets down, except for the last run. So that will sound like this. Alright, so let's get into the verse of the song. Now we're going to start with the D chord shape here, except you're going to leave your middle finger up here because you're going to get ready to put it on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. We'll start by plucking the 2nd and 4th strings together, and then we'll pluck the 3rd string and then 2nd string, all on the 1 and 2 beat. So it'll sound like this: 1 and 2. Again, remember we have a swing feel here, so the on beat is always held out longer than the end beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that, as opposed to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's got more of a feel to it. Then for our next position, we're just going to put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and we're doing the exact same thing. And so far, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then for our next bit, we're going to lift our middle finger. We're keeping our index finger here on the 2nd fret though. We'll pluck the 2nd and 4th strings, but we'll hammer on with our middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the 2nd string and pull off as well. So, like that. And one more time. And then your ring finger will go to the 4th fret of the 4th string, and you'll play that on the end beat after the 2. So it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and... Now with your ring finger here and your index finger here, we'll be plucking the 3rd string, 4th string, and back to the 3rd string. And that happens on the end beat after the 3, the 4 beat, and the end beat after the 4. And in total, our first bar sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For our second bar, we'll start by having our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string still. We're going to pluck the 2nd and 4th strings and do that hammer on again on the 2nd string. So 1 and 2. And then our ring finger goes back to the 4th fret of the 4th string on the 3 beat. And then we're going to pluck the 3rd string on the 4 beat. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And then we're going to pluck the 6th and 2nd strings together and do that hammer on pull off again. But you can lift your index finger now from the 3rd string. So it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and then your index finger will go onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and we're plucking the 5th and 3rd strings together, like that. And that ends on the 3rd beat. So that bar in total will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For our next bar, we still have this index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now we've got to pluck the 6th and 4th strings together. Now because we have to pluck the 6th and 4th strings together, we can break our finger picking rule and take the index finger up to the 4th string to pluck those 2 strings at the same time. And then we're going to take our ring finger and put it on the 4th fret and pluck that again with our index finger. And then we go back to the open 6th string. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to go back to the 3rd string with our index finger and pluck the open string there. And then our index finger comes down on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. We're plucking the 5th and 3rd strings together. And then with our ring finger go to the 4th fret of the 3rd string and back to the 5th string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. After we go back to the 5th string, we're going to lift our ring finger and go back to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So that in total, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then our index finger goes back to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. We're going to pluck the 6th and the 4th strings together. Then a ring finger goes on the 4th fret of the 4th string, pluck that, back to the 6th string, and then index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then we end on the 5th string there. So the second half of this section, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and in total 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... With our index finger still on the 2nd fret of this 3rd string, we're going to move into our 4th section. We're going to go 5th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd string, and then we're going to pluck the 5th and 2nd strings together. Then we'll pluck the 3rd string by itself again on the 4 beat. So that will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And then after that, we're going to move our index finger to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. We'll pluck the 2nd and 6th strings together, and then the 3rd string, and then the 3rd and 5th strings together. And altogether this section will sound like this. 1 So now I'll play this section at 75 and 100% speed, and I'll have a close-up on my picking hand so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Right, now we get to verse part 2. Now verse part 2 is almost identical to verse part 1 except for the 4th section. For the 4th section we're going to start with our index finger on the 2nd fret of this 3rd string. We're going to pluck the open 6th string, 2nd string, back to the 6th string, 3rd string, and then 5th and 2nd strings together, and then 3rd string. And then our ring finger will go onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. We'll pluck the 2nd and 4th strings together. And then we'll go 3rd and 2nd strings by themselves. So all together it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... And then on the 4 beat we're going to lift our ring finger, hit this open 2nd string, but hammer it back on to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And in total, the 4th section, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And at 75 and 100% speed, the verse part 2 will sound like this. Thanks for watching this fingerstyle tutorial, guys. If you want to view the full lesson, then be sure to check out Guitar Zero to Hero Premium. The link is in the description below, but there you'll find full lessons, full tabs, as well as a complete guitar course where you'll learn technique, scales, and theory, and everything to take you from Guitar Zero to Guitar Hero. As always, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or requests down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.